2 rescues down in 9/11. God bless them. Once again, I don't have an organized speech, and I'm just going to make a few quick notes to wrap up. I just know that New York is the city that doesn't sleep, and we're not going to let her. And I can't get it out of my mind, the Red Cross representative that covered up the radio when the countdown was going off, and at the last 3 seconds told us to run for our life. Because he didn't want it on his conscience. I want to thank him for that, I guess. And as far, I want to send out a message to EMS saying that I don't need authorization to do what's right. If it comes again, I won't be able to stick around. Woo! It's only the cost of you folks. And I agree that the people are waking up. We're living in the age of Aquarius now, and they're trying to spoil our wealth. And we're not going to let that happen either. We're not going to live in the shadow of their lies. I'd like to leave you with a quote that I have. Actually, first I'd like to say about all the beams that were cut by 8 o'clock at night on September 11th. Meanwhile, all the acetylene was staged and guarded up at Canal Street. I don't understand how all the welding got done, especially when there was a shortage of iron workers. Maybe it was thermite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to leave you with this quote that I humor myself with, and it's, "Let freedom ring. This number has been disconnected." No further information is available. Please call back some other time. Thanks a lot, folks. Rock on.
Did you just hear what the first responder was saying? And we've talked to dozens who said the same thing, and it's on the record. The local radio announced it. The countdown to blow Building 7, smoking gun proof. But CNN wants to be on television tomorrow in a taped interview, and they want me to talk about the Pentagon, the Pentagon, the Pentagon. So they want to only stay on that subject, not the hundreds and hundreds of witnesses of bombs and countdowns. Please take a few of my minutes and detail what you were just talking about with the controlled demolition. Please, sir.
Sure. Yeah, we were staged at, I'm not sure what street it was, but there's a clip of Amy Goodman running from the cloud. I was about 40 feet away from her, and it was the same intersection. And we were split up into, half of us were going to be medical support, and this is all within the domain of Red Cross. Half of us were going to be medical support, and the other people were going to be search and rescue. Now, we were kind of mad because the people that actually had medical support training wanted to do the search and rescue work, but we were getting like split up with no rhyme or reason. And we saw it was like 4 or 5 city buses just packed to the hilt with citizens, New York citizens that would want to just go down there and help. They thought that they were going to go down there and help, and next thing you know, 10 minutes later, Building 7 drops. While we were on the right side, there was firefighters getting ready. They were bustling back and forth, and a couple of vets that were there, they got the vibe that something was coming down. And we started asking questions. Everybody started asking questions, and then next thing you know, there were the Red Cross representatives pacing back and forth in front of the crowd, holding his hand over the radio. And I couldn't hear what it was saying, but it was like, it was pulsed. Whatever the speech was on there was pulsed, and that means to me it was most likely a countdown. But he took his hand off at the last 3 seconds, and he gave this like heartfelt look, like he didn't want, just run for your life, because he didn't want to bring it on his conscience. He didn't want to go to his grave with that. And we only had a couple seconds to put our heads together, and it was like 3/4 of us ran up the street, and then the other 1/4 of us were like standing there like, what should we do? And next thing you know, like they started to funnel out and run into the crowd because it was a stampede going up the street, and like 3 or 4 people started hitting people football style to open up a hole like it was a mosh pit, and started picking people off the ground. And there was a woman there that I guess picked up the wrong way and put my hands on the wrong area, and she went to take a swing at me, and I pushed her on her way. And That's basically how that went down. And then about 15, 20 minutes later, the smoke cleared. After I started to get hit with a little bit of debris, I ran into an archway for a door because that was the most protected area I could find. And maybe about 15, 20 minutes later, it started to clear up, and everybody funneled back into the intersection, and they said, oh, come back at 10 o'clock, and then we'll be ready to roll out. Came back at 10 o'clock, nobody was there. Went on my own from then. And that's pretty much how it went down.